Hey Ruthie, how's it like owning a dog?
Well, I haven't actually owned a dog in several years, but you know what was one of the most frustrating parts of owning a dog?
I don't know. I've never have had a dog.
So my mom's dog, he was a super picky eater. Like, we'd give him wet food and he'd only eat like a couple licks and then he'd go for whatever was it on our plates. Luckily, he's a small dog, so it wasn't like a Marmaduke situation.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely helpful. But have you heard about Nom Nom?
Well, funny, I may have, but tell me more.
Nom Nom is fresh food made with whole ingredients, and it's actually backed by veterinary science. Fresh really means fresh at Nom Nom because you can actually see with your eyeballs what your dog is shoving down its throat. For example, you can actually see the proteins in vegetables, like beef, chicken, pork, peas, carrots, kale, and more.
Jeez, that dog's gonna eat better than I do.
Yes, I mean, don't you want your dog to always eat better than you do? I'm out here eating McDonald's like on a daily basis, which is not what I want to feed my dog if I had a dog.
And the funny thing is, I actually know how Nom Nom works. You tell them about
Wait,
your
who
pup.
are you?
Tell them about your pup, the age, the breed, the weight, allergies, and even its protein preferences. And they'll tailor a specific amount of individually packaged Nom Nom meals and send them straight to you. And then you can just store the meals in the freezer or fridge until mealtime. And they give you specific instructions on how to transition your dog from foods like kibble to always fresh Nom Nom for best results. You can watch your dog clean their dishes, dance for dinner, and just overall thrive.
Isn't it time to feel good about the food you're feeding your dog? You go to www.nomnomnow, all squished together, .com/reshoot, or use code ReShoot at checkout and get 50% off your first order plus free shipping. Plus, Nom Nom comes with a money-back guarantee. That means if your dog doesn't love fresh, delicious meals, Nom Nom will refund your first order. No fillers, no nonsense, just Nom Nom.
Nom.
Nailed it, first try.
All right, now on to the show. What do you mean you didn't like the movie?
I don't know, it was just kind of bad. Well, not bad, just it was good, but it was just wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff, and it was kind of okay.
What do you mean you didn't like the movie?
I don't know, it was just kind of bad. I mean, not bad, it was good, just it was just wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff, and it was kind of okay.
I swear, if I have to hear you guys say this bullshit one more goddamn time.
Welcome to ReShoot, amateurs in no suits. Too many movies to explore. Ruthie, Hector, and Ed, laughter till the end. Let's see something never done before.
Like the Bean song?
Yeah.
Theme.
Yeah,
Ed, have you heard the Bean song?
I haven't showed him the Bean song.
Have you heard of the Bean song, Ed?
I have not heard of the Bean song.
It's a song where they just say bean.
It's just a lady saying
Bean?
beans with the music. It's really
Beans.
good, actually.
Yeah.
Hector.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to ReShoot, an amateur's guide to gooder film, where we take movies that we like, dislike, or somewhere in between, and we fix it.
We make it objectively better.
Except this time, two of the three of us had some issues finding faults with this movie, and we were thinking about having a discussion until someone.
Well, like, no, we're still gonna have the discussion. It's just that, like, I'm definitely gonna put things that I like, dislike, and things I'd fix, just not in the structure that we usually do it. Also, just the other discussion one we had was literally Primer, which was also wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff.
Triangle was another wibbly wobbly. We like the wibbly wobblies.
We like the wibbly
Also,
wobblies.
It's not that I thought that this movie was perfect. There are things that I might like tweak a little, but I don't know if it would like amount to a fix. Like like how we did D&D.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing.
Like there's nothing that's like overt
yeah.
to me. You know what I mean?
I guess.
Yeah.
Eh.
So
Yeah.
okay, Haterade, who are you?
I am a cosmic entity.
I am a gun nut tweaker.
All right, Ruthie. You of all people, yes.
It was the only thing I could
I
remember
know,
that was
I get it.
funny.
I'm a guy trying to get I can't make that
You
joke.
could have done. I'm the guy in the tent that gets murked every 30
Yeah,
seconds.
I'm the guy in the tent that gets murked every 5 seconds.
10.
I'm Hector. And what's your actual name, hater?
Ed.
Entity? Ed. Okay. So.
And
And
our third.
Boomer.
Boomer.
No.
Or cat.
Ruthie, you didn't say your name.
She did.
He did.
Oh, what? Okay.
He did it.
What?
I did say.
It is I. Dio, Ruthie. Nailed it.
Okay.
So.
Take it on home, Hector.
We're editing. God damn it. We are talking about the movie The Endless. Which this movie is, if you can watch it blind, I know Ed already spoiled it with the little beginning bit, but if you can watch it blind as you can, this one's a wild one if you like cosmic horror, which is also the bit of the topic today. So it's about two brothers, Justin and Aaron, who left. I'm giving the plot synopsis. Sorry, they left their cult years ago. Aaron is having a hard time leaving, though, the younger brother, because he's like, our life sucks.
And he's like 10 years younger than his older brother.
He's not 10 years younger. He's like 6 or 7. He's like 5 or 6.
He's significantly younger than his older brother because he has almost no memories of being in the cult, which makes me think he was like maybe 4 or 5 when he left.
Maybe. I mean, their mom also died
in a car crash.
Right before, so maybe that affected it, was my thought. So they receive a video cassette in the mail from Camp Arcadia, which was where the cult was, which is a UFO death cult. Aaron's like, they were cool and nice, and Justin's like, fuck that. And also their ascension might just be a mass suicide. So Aaron just is like, hey, Justin, can we please go to Camp Arcadia for a day? And Justin agrees just again to shut up a little and also be like, fine, you'll see how it is. And it's very friendly. Everyone's pretty nice. But there's stuff that isn't adding up. Like, people disappear, or one guy was is like, doesn't talk much and is angry. They start seeing like 2 moons at night.
Don't forget about that mirrored image into the lake.
Yes, mirrored image into the lake. And one of the guys, Hal, is working on a physics equation, and he's trying to solve it. Well, he's also kind of like the leader. So they're playing tug of war against a rope, and
into the blackness of night, by the way.
Into the blackness of night, yes. And then while Justin's exploring the woods, an entity just like drops photographs of a buoy. So it's like, oh, you should go there. So he and his brother go there. Ends up, his brother Aaron convinces Justin to stay there for more than one night. And they go. And he goes under. He's like, there's a monster down there. And they find a message that's about forgiveness.
Well, the message is Justin and Aaron recreating what Aaron is saying the death cult is like. Mm-hmm. And it turns out that Aaron lied about like 90% about what the cult was about. So they didn't castrate themselves. They didn't proselytize like Cthulhu Mormons. They're actually pretty chill. They're pretty like
sorry,
remote.
I'm losing at Cthulhu Mormons. You can't just drop that.
They acted like Cthulhu Mormons. Don't even.
I mean, what was his name? Mike looked like a Cthulhu Mormon. He's the one with the nice shirt on in the front who's always smiling.
That's Dave.
Dave, yeah, Dave.
Yeah.
People want a Dave movie, supposedly. I'm really hoping that...
I legit thought the twist was going to be that Dave was the Eldrich being the entire time.
Oh, that would
kind of like Vivarium.
Oh, that would have been fun.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, so it's discovered that Aaron lied about everything, and Justin... Wait. Justin... Which one's which?
Oh, Justin's the older, Aaron's the younger.
Justin lied about the whole thing. Aaron had no idea, because again, he was so young or traumatized or a combination of both or whatever reason. He didn't remember half of this stuff. He's feeling very betrayed by Justin, and...
along with the fact that half of the issues between the two of them, when they talk about it in their deprogramming classes, is that Aaron's like, I feel like Justin always fucks up, and I wish he'd let me in on that, because he feels like Justin just controls his life and tells him what to do all the time. Like, yeah, that kind of was a thing that was happening.
Yeah, like Aaron was very much kind of being told what to do, you know? He didn't get a lot of agency between the two of them.
I know, but Justin was just being a good big brother,
He
trying to,
was being No, I agree with you, but sometimes you just gotta like
Yeah.
throw the rope.
Yeah, you can't take it.
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying
know,
to
but
learn that lesson with my
he was just
sibling.
he was just doing his best.
Yeah, I can't. You gotta let him grow. Anyway.
Hal, upon this revelation, asks Justin to leave for a little bit and let things cool off. It's kind of implied, like, I got the feeling he was trying to tell Justin to just get out of there. But, Justin tries to leave. Car won't start, so he walks off. And I'll let you pick back up.
Thank you. He walks off to, who was the other dude? Carl?
Carl.
He sees the dude that,
Was
is
always
hanging.
angry and running around. It's Carl. Carl is
Yeah.
trying to escape his loop, but he cannot. Spoilers. So he goes to Carl's tent and he sees Carl hanging
In the not great way.
in a not great way. And then he sees behind him, Carl pops up and he sees his own dead body. He's like, "What is going on?"
Well, no, he doesn't say what's going on. Justin's freaking out, and the Carl's like, "What the fuck? Why are you in my house? I live there." Gestures to dead body just hanging there chilling.
So
Get out of there.
So
Justin's
basically,
like, what?
So basically, they're stuck in a time loop. He's stuck in a time loop, and he's like, "Look, I need to help me get out. Get me a gun from my friend who I used to go shooting with." So he tells him how to walk it. Basically, the reason those two aren't affected is because they were so young they couldn't be affected by it. They had to grow their minds and kind of be able to really understand what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're reaching that age. This is their last chance. They have to get out of the loop. As soon as the third moon pops up, that's when the loop's finished. The big loop's finished, and they are.
And then you're officially stuck forever.
Yes.
If Cthulhu respects age of consent more than you do, you have a problem. Thank you.
So, Aaron is sent a thing about a trailer, so he has to go find the trailer, and Justin is going to find the gun. So he finds the gun from some people who have survived many loops, and they're trying to get out of it, but they can't. Also, that one of the two dudes has a wife who's like, she's missing. I wish I could see her.
Well, he went missing first, but
She went, yes, and he was like regretting. It's funny because there's this whole thing of like sometimes the stuff you hate about someone else is kind of the stuff you miss the most. Because like I used to get annoyed by her.
Because like the wife and the husband are stuck in separate loops, right?
yes.
Yeah.
And she doesn't quite remember yet. It's implied she doesn't quite understand what's going on, but there are.
Trauma is a hell of a drug.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the spoiler thing, there's another movie called Resolution by these guys. This is their second one. The first one's Resolution. Those two are in Resolution. The two dudes are in Resolution.
Just two guys being dudes in a
The two dudes
loop.
with the guy with the that he's
Who's
like
trying to be
the cold turkey forced, basically.
The cold turkey to get over a drug addiction. Can't remember which drug it was off the top of my head.
But yeah, was it heroin?
I'm pretty sure it was heroin.
Pretty sure it was heroin. But yeah, they're both in the loop. They try to burn themselves, and then after Justin is outside to get the gun, and the loop resets. So he goes to the trailer.
Well, the trailer wasn't there.
Well, Justin goes to the trailer. No, the trailer was there. So he goes to the trailer.
It wasn't there right away. He's walking up a hill, and the trailer just appears.
He walks into the loop because he walked into the loop. The trailer's its own loop.
Mm.
And from the trailer, you can see other loops too, all around of all the other loops.
Well, I thought that was just the zooming out effect that we, the audience, get to see.
I have been told. I got a little small spoiler about Resolution. You can see all the other loops from there. It's like the one or two spots where you can see it easier, I guess. Because they're like little bubbles. And the brothers find each other there, and they're debating what to do. And then Aaron's like, "I want to stay," and Justin's like, "No, fine, do what you want. I don't care. I'm leaving." But there's a secret. So anyway, they go back. Secret room. The secret room in Camp Arcadia is opened, and it's all the ways they've been having communication at them for since like the 50s, the 60s, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's showing them everything, and they're like
VHS tapes.
VHS tapes, yes. There were some records and stuff too. It was and cassettes. There was a whole bunch of stuff. So by that point, Aaron's like, "Fuck that, we're getting out of here. I just wanted you to let me respect my decision and let me be a part of it." They rush the car to get it going, and then they drive, and they're about to. And they're one of the few times in cosmic horror history where they get a happy ending because they crash their barrier right before the monster consumes them and gets them stuck in the loop. And they're free, and they're one of the few times that someone has a happy ending.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, the entity talks or communicates with the people with Polaroid pictures, VHS tapes, cassettes, and other very analog technology that he just drops from the sky.
Yeah. And it got me thinking a lot about cosmic horror and why I don't think a cosmic horror film should be made with a big budget. That was part of my big thesis for this episode. When you have a big budget, you have to do a lot with it. You have to spend all of it as best as you can, right?
You have to
don't
justify
have
the
You
cost.
have to justify the cost.
From a financial perspective,
Yeah.
it's like you know how state park budgets, they have to spend all the money because they won't be, if they don't spend all of it, they won't be guaranteed that same amount next year. And what if they actually need it next year? Yeah.
That
There was a
makes
good
sense,
Office
yeah.
episode that explained this easier than anything I've ever seen explain it. Because who's the guy he hates?
Oh, Toby?
Toby had to explain it to Michael like a 5-year-old, and I'm like, I actually get it now. Here's my theory. Guillermo del Toro's Mountains of Madness was supposed to be made, and supposedly the big. It kind of ends with this scary monster thing. Some pre-CGI, early CGI was released or shown or leaked or whatever, and it feels like that kind of kills the spirit of it.
I mean, I've actually listened to all of Mountains of Madness.
Yeah, but Guillermo del Toro's adaptation was going to make it very different. I don't think. I don't know. I just don't think cosmic horror in a visual medium should show a lot of the monster.
Can I kind of give an argument?
Sure.
Having known the story, this is a 6-hour long audiobook that I listened to for Mountains of Madness. 4 hours out of the middle is just expounding on the universe, the cinematic universe of Lovecraft's mythology. 4 hours out of a 6-hour audiobook of a novel.
Did they show a lot of the monsters?
It's not shown. It is a geologist in an ancient, long dead city, just looking at pictures on the walls.
Okay.
It is really, I don't think that would translate well to the screen.
No, I know, but here's the thing. You have to generate action, right? You have to generate visuals with the amount of money that Guillermo del Toro needs. I don't think a big amount of money, if you have to show all that, then a lot of Eldrich horror is, oh, you can't see it, you can't understand it, you can't grasp it, and you have to be creepy with it. This movie does a really good job at that because you never see the entity, you only see the effects the entity has on people.
I think I politely disagree.
I'm gonna also disagree because it's a really good cosmic horror movie with a big budget? Annihilation.
Yeah. See, the thing is, a lot of people think Lovecraft's brand of cosmic horror, yes, there's the aspect of it is so alien to me. Not only do I not have the words in my personal dictionary to describe it, it is beyond your comprehension. But at the same time, it's cosmic horror is the realization that you are small and infinitesimal, and not only would your life and death mean nothing, the things that could cause your life to cease would have no way of understanding you on a fundamental level whatsoever. That's what makes Azathoth so terrifying, the blind idiot god, because he's dreaming. And the second that he wakes up everything that we know in our reality ceases to exist. I feel like that's, out of all the cosmic horror, that's the one that kind of freaks me out the most.
And that's why I like Annihilation's whatever it is also, because it's not aware of what it's doing. It doesn't understand what it's doing. It's just doing.
Yeah.
That's it doesn't understand itself, or well, we don't know if it does, but it doesn't understand what anything else is, and it doesn't understand that it's causing damage to whatever it is. It probably doesn't even perceive it as damage. It's just doing what it naturally does, and that's the scary part, because like it doesn't even bother him that there's life that he's destroying. Like it's not part of his part of its comprehension.
Mm-hmm.
It's so above everything else that it doesn't literally inconsequential to him.
Yeah.
And that's actually one of the my biggest dislikes about this. I don't like how the entity was very aware of what it's doing, and also how it was kind of taunting them with the videos and the pictures and all of that. I like cosmic horror when it just does what the creature in Annihilation does. It just does.
But Ed, isn't your favorite Lovecraft Shadow over Innsmouth?
That's the only one I've read, really.
Because that's like the
No,
one
I've read
that's
Shadow over Innsmouth and Color Out of Space and Call of Cthulhu.
okay. Color Out of Space is very much that
Yeah,
Annihilation brand of like, it does, like, you don't know if it has a motive or if it even understands the concept of a motive.
I'll never forgive that movie for making the color pink, because I like my color in my head.
pink isn't real, or magenta isn't real. Isn't a real color.
Yeah. Sorry, continue.
No, I was just saying, like, I wish the color was gray.
Oh, really?
I wish the color was a weird gray.
It's like a weird. It like makes everything else gray in my mind, but it's like a purple.
Yeah, fair enough. If I could make the movie, I would make it so it turns everything black and white. But that's a different movie.
Yeah.
So
I,
get
I
that.
like I like choosing the color that literally isn't a real color. It
No,
doesn't
yeah,
exist.
I respect that. But Ed, it's funny you say that, but like the one of your favorite, the one of the two that you've read is the least like that of all.
Which one?
Shadow over Innsmouth.
Shadow over Innsmouth.
Oh, right, because it's all
Because
people.
that one doesn't have like a eldritch god. It's the people in the town made an agreement with the fish like creatures under the sea to like they're all in on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interestingly, I get what you're saying, Ed. I personally did like the fact that the entity was just playing with them.
I mean, like, the Dunwich Horror has both of those aspects. Can I spoil it?
Go for it. It's an old story.
Ed, do I have your blessing to spoil it? Because that is a really good one.
Bless.
Okay. So, the whole story behind the Dunwich Horror, at the beginning of the book, the story, a woman gives birth to a baby boy, and the baby boy rapidly grows to an adult man size in like 3 years. He is gross, he's hideous, he's strange, he's alien, right? And he and his grandfather, his mother disappears mysteriously. Ooh. But he and his father keep talking about the horror that will fall Dunwich, and he's trying to get a hold of the Necronomicon. Well, as he's trying to get a hold of the Necronomicon, he dies. And everyone's like, okay, good, great. No more Dunwich horror. We're good. We're safe. But it
Wait, who
turns
dies?
out,
The son?
yeah, the grandson, yeah, the kid,
The kid.
the man baby thing.
Okay.
So he dies, and he turns into this horrible husk. And everyone's like, okay, great. Creepy guy's gone. Grandpa's gone. Mom, long gone. We're safe. And then we find out that baby boy creepy guy was not an only child, he was a twin, and his twin looks a lot more like their dad. And yeah, like that's the Dunwich horror that
Is the dad Cthulhu?
No, the dad isn't Cthulhu. It's I can't remember the name.
It's an
It's an Eldrich god. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you already told me this, actually.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I don't know. So I don't know. I'm fine with that. I get what you're saying. I personally, I don't mind the twist on if the entity's playing with them or if the entity doesn't care. I think both of them are interesting. But I get it. Everyone has their
Well,
flavor.
it's not like the entity. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time describing what it is, but it's like not that the entity doesn't care. It's just that the entity doesn't. It's not aware, or it doesn't even. Or
It's
you
just so
understand?
alien that we can't comprehend why it's doing what it's doing, right?
Yeah, and maybe it doesn't even comprehend what it's doing.
But we would never know either way.
Yeah, because we can't understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like the alien in Annihilation. Why is it doing that? We don't know. It's alien to us. It's literally one of the most alien looking aliens I've seen, other than in Nope. That was very alien as
Yeah.
well.
Nope
That
is
one-
very good cosmic horror.
Nope was so good.
I think it's overrated, but yes, it's still very good.
You're saying it's overrated because I never shut up about that. I didn't shut up about the movie for like a month afterwards.
Nope. I saw it
Exactly.
and I thought it was overrated just off of my viewing experience after hearing so much from everybody, not just you.
Okay, fair enough.
It's still a great movie, just not as
Ed,
good
what
as people
flavor is
say.
your haterade this week?
What the
Last time it was red.
When it was with
When it was Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. What flavor is it this week?
What flavor is it this week?
Yeah.
I guess we'll go with do they have a pink one? Because
Well,
it's that one.
you tell me what flavor is
Strawberry.
your pink
What
strawberry?
flavor is my haterade?
Yeah.
Uh
Is it magenta?
yeah, it's a cosmic entity magenta.
Amazing.
You drink.
That's sticker worthy.
That's
Cosmic entity magenta haterade.
yeah. It's like it's what you drink in Bloodborne to get the eyes.
You know you're drinking
The
pure blood,
eyes? Those
Yeah, I know.
those eyes?
Yes, I know it's like somewhat period
Yes.
blood. I do know that.
It's either period blood or
Wait,
like
what?
placenta
I
blood.
totally lost the conversation.
My joke was that the magenta, cosmic horror magenta, is like the same shit you drink to get the secret ending in Bloodborne. And Ruth is like, "That's it's period blood or placenta
No,
blood."
I thought you
right?
were talking about the blood vials.
Oh no, the blood vials. I know what. Yeah, no, yeah, no, I know
Wait,
about the blood vials.
what
I'm
are
very
the
much
blood
in depth
vials?
with the lore of.
So, I'm gonna give you a very brief overview. I saw a YouTube essay about Bloodborne, Eldritch horror, and feminism. I guess not feminism, but like how women are seen in this society. And it made the argument, since there's so much talk of like birth and like rebirth, the whole idea that he argues is that blood vials are period blood, but now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think it's just period blood. I think it's like after birth placenta blood.
I mean, that's what the umbilical cords are.
The umbilical cord is different from the placenta.
No, I know. I think I've seen the same essay years ago. I know
you showed it to me.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Ruthie, stop that noise! I swear to fucking God. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah,
Back to the discussion.
I don't know. I think I agree with you. Like sometimes it can be done big budget, but the thing is,
Well, I don't think your parameter should be a big budget.
no. But like, here's my worry: big budget, you have to answer to more people. More people aren't going to get it because they're trying to make money back. Smaller indie productions, while they don't have all the resources, can get, like as this movie shows, can get really clever with what they do have.
Okay, can I ask you something then?
And they can get away with more freedom. Yes?
You're talking about, like, the production side of what you need to translate a Lovecraft, like a Eldritch horror to the screen.
Yes.
What story or thematic elements do you think are a must for it to be considered a cosmic horror, or a good cosmic horror even?
Okay. A good question. I'll think about this as I talk because that's how I should
Because
do things.
I know one thing that I think is a requirement from my end.
What is it?
You need a good narrator who is skeptical or like just does not know anything.
So, like a main character or narrator?
Well, all the good like Lovecraft stories or like The King in Yellow, all the good ones, all my favorites, they need a character that was like totally removed from that world and the veil is peeled, almost like the tablecloth is pulled out from under this person and you're experiencing their horror. It's
Yeah,
an
like the
echo. Yeah.
sorry, I keep
No,
like the narrator character in the newest Colorado Space movie, because he's just like
yes.
a journalist that comes into this town because of the comet.
Was he a journalist or was he? I thought he was like a student who was like a meteorologist. Or was that one of my fixes?
No, he was a
I,
student who was we never did that movie. He was
I had fixes in mind for that one.
okay, fair enough. No, he
He
was
was
a
like a
geologist or a ecologist or something.
yeah, or like a waterologist.
Yeah, he's on the water. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, also I've seen it.
I need to rewatch it. It's a good movie.
That one I'm feeling iffy on because it was a good like Cronenberg style movie. It was kind of dancing between Cronenberg horror and Eldrich horror, which again, as we can see, can mix. But I feel like you gotta kind of delve into one or the other for it to really pop
so
sometimes.
he's a hydrologist. Yeah, he was surveying the area to build a dam there, but he saw the meteorite and went to investigate by himself.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say narrator, do you mean like an actual like voiceover
I
during the
don't
movie?
I don't mean a voiceover. I mean, usually in these kind of stories, again, I'm listening to audiobooks. So I'm usually listening to somebody like read
Recount the
obviously, but
events.
recount their horror. So for example, my favorite King in Yellow story, it's like 10 minutes and it's this guy who's like, I'm in a church. I love hearing the organ. I'm having a great time. And then the door opens. And then this weird guy comes in. Oh God, he's sitting next to me. I can't focus on the one thing that I love. Oh, this isn't a person, you know?
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying now.
Where
Okay.
somebody is in the world of the mortal and then they're not.
Yes, that works well.
Like for me, that's a must.
No, it's a must. I think that also has to tie into my next point is I think Eldritch has to be kind of a mystery. You can't just know what's up. It has to be slowly unraveled.
And even then, I don't think it should be fully unraveled.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
Like max 85.
And yeah, like it's not full.
Yeah.
This one isn't fully explained. Like
No.
it, you don't. Again, the entity obviously I think is toying with them, or at least is aware of what it's doing, but it doesn't explain why it's doing it. It doesn't explain like what those pillars really mean. Those little like rock pillars and such. But
It
it's
seems
still
like
kind of
effigies to me.
effigies. But
I thought there were barriers from one loop to the other.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
they're
if you look at it,
barriers.
they almost look like living things and not rocks, you know? They look like my first thought was the in Call of Cthulhu, the second part of that story where it's talking about the voodoo cult in the jungle, racist bullshit. And there's horrible effigies that they make in the voodoo jungle.
They did read their Lovecraft, so yeah, that would make sense.
I mean, they're not timey-wimey stuff in that part, but
No, I meant the creators.
yeah, no. I'm just,
Yeah, no. They've been known to love their Lovecraft
I'm
stories.
steel manning your, yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't. I wish they would have. Well, no, but they also didn't explain the rope tug of war thing. That was just there. But I think that's still just the entity fucking around with them.
Yeah.
See, my first clue that Dave was an eldritch being was when Dave just like full on Captain America sprints into the darkness with the rope. I thought
Yeah.
like The Hector said while we were watching it, like, "Oh, is that Dave hanging himself?"
Yeah, I thought that was a
With
twist.
so much purpose, also.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I had a bit of a like, oh no, if it's gonna get dark and weird, then this is the first step to do, unhinged way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, I'll give the movie props. It restrained it. I'm sure they had ideas like that and they restrained themselves. And I think it was a good choice for the most part. Also, a lot of humor in that movie. It still fit.
Yeah.
Another prop. Like, some of the jokes were a little too dark, and I know some of them Ruthie didn't like, but like,
I really like
What?
the one where Aaron, that's the younger brother, right?
mm-hmm.
Said that he slept with the girl, and then Justin's like, "Wow, nice, yeah." Like, and then he asked him how he slept. He's like, "I actually slept pretty well. Like, we just kind of, just laid together and slept."
Oh, you mean actually
pretty early.
slept?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like actually slept? No, Aaron. When people say slept together, it means that they had sex.
There was that whole fight. Yeah.
Yeah,
My-
it was just hilarious interaction.
My favorite was, what's his name? The guy who wanted the gun.
Oh,
Carl.
Carl. The reason what he did after he got the gun, and then his response after he did what he did with what he wanted to do with the gun, try not to trigger anyone.
He did a sewer slide.
Yeah, he did that. But his response after he comes immediately back from the loop was just
Yeah.
really funny.
He just, damn it!
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he said fuck.
He probably did.
He probably did.
I just have a bad memory.
Carl is just infinitely frustrated that he can't get out, and then he like finally gets a gun after a very long time of not having one, and then he finally does what he does to try and get out, and then he doesn't work, and he's just like, fuck.
I think my favorite joke is Mike talking to the tweaker guy whose name escapes me at the moment.
Yeah.
And being like, if I have to hear your voice one more time, on the 40th fucking time, hey Mike, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they argue about what kind of accent he's saying.
I think that was actually in the first
Probably.
Resolution movie, because I'm sure, yeah. I need to see
Yeah.
that. Ed, you and I need to see that one.
Why can't I?
Sure.
I thought you didn't want to see it.
Maybe. Now I'm just hurt that I'm not invited.
I thought you didn't want to see it, because I said, do you want to see it with me? And you're like, I don't know if I want to after the last one.
I thought you were like, right now, let's watch it. And I'm like,
No, I meant just in general. Okay, whatever.
Well, anyways, yes, the tweaker and the friend were probably one of the most interesting, funniest, also, but also really terrible ones, because the guy who the non-tweaker, the friend, is the one that's like, Mike is the one. I mean, I'm pretty sure the tweaker is fine with it, but Mike's the one like kind of in control, and he's the one that says like, I don't care. I want to reset it on my own terms, not on his terms.
Or its terms, yeah.
Its terms, yeah. So they do. I don't know if he always does the same one, but he always at least they reset themselves on their own terms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and it's really sad because we meet his wife.
Yeah.
Was it Jessica?
Mm-hmm.
We meet Jessica first, and she says her son, and kind of implies he's like a
younger boy now.
He's a boy, and she dropped him off with her parents to look for her husband. But when we see Mike later on in the film, he says, "My wife and baby."
Yeah.
So you know he's been trapped there for
years.
And at least 2 years.
And they're in separate loops also, so they can't.
They will never see each other.
Yeah, the movie does have some. Also, the part where what was his name? What's his name again?
Dave.
Dave is like, I can't.
Wait, no, Dave can't talk. Which one are you talking about?
The one who's in the loop. The one who hung himself. Carl, when he's describing how he can't dream and all this stuff, I'm like, oh no.
Oh yeah, the creature doesn't let you dream.
Because he doesn't it doesn't want you to be away for even a second.
Yeah. That part stunk. Oh man, that really that got me.
No, but it also seems that like Mike and his wife have been there for a very long time is the
Mhm.
thing. Like
Yeah.
I think it's been like, to me it felt like they've been there for at the very least 20 years. Cuz she has no idea and he's lost track.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's hard to tell for the two of them because they're both wearing kind of like timeless styles. But now that I'm thinking about it, and I mentioned this after to Hector after we watched it,
They've been
Tim.
I think they've been there for several years, more than 2
Yeah,
easily.
yeah. No, it doesn't surprise me. But we know Mike has been there probably at least 2 years longer than Jessica.
Yeah.
But Tim. Tim is not dressed in modern clothes. When we see him the first time, it's like, oh yeah, he's a cult guy. He's in cult clothes. And the more I
Wait,
think about it,
Tim is who?
The
Tim
old
is
man with the beard.
he's the brewmaster.
Oh, yeah.
Tim is in a white long sleeve shirt and beige kind of overalls. No distinct brand, not like corduroys or whatever, not like a fun modern jumpsuit. No, he's like in old timey clothes, like fucking spenders. Like he's
Yeah.
1800s, maybe early 20th century. And Anna, she seems like she's from 60s or 70s. The other two, I can't quite pin him down. Maybe that one guy, the magician, you could argue he's like maybe the 20s. Hal, no idea.
Yeah, this movie does not. This
Yeah.
movie does not hold your hand with some of the really good details. It wants you to kind of piece it together,
Mm-hmm.
which I fucking love it.
Instead of
And
the.
they did reveal, talking about the magician, they revealed how the baseball trick worked, right?
I figured out.
Because it
Yes,
just kind of hung in the air, right?
yes,
Mm-hmm.
I figured out the trick a while, like way before they showed it. But I'm glad that that one I think was a fun little like,
Because
like
it was like the entity helping him do the magic
yeah,
trick, I think. Yeah.
because he wanted to fuck over the other. He wanted to fuck over Justin. It was just
Mm-hmm.
a fun
Yeah.
little prank. Yeah, no, I get why you don't like an Eldritch God being a bit of a goofball in a sense, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like he's benevolent. That's like the closest thing to like a nice gesture from the entity. Um, it almost kind of just reminds me of the description in 5e. I think it's for copper dragons. It talks about how they're like pranksters and jokesters, but they're not like technically they're chaotic good. But what that means is that the copper dragon won't instantly kill you. There is a non-zero chance you're going to suffer in the presence of this copper dragon trying to find amusement from you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Copper dragons are great.
Oh yeah.
There's a non-zero chance.
Yeah, it's not instantly going to kill you.
No, yeah.
But there are things worse than death.
yeah,
And it fucks with its subordinates too, with like its kobolds, right?
Well, yeah, it's just like to entertain its like let's say you walk into a copper dragon's lair. Yeah, I'm not going to like rip out your intestines, but I'm just going to make you stand here and tell me funny jokes and stories until I stop laughing. It's going to be a while.
Yeah, but I don't know. I like entities that are just do. They just do, and they're not aware of us. Because that's what you described about Lovecraftian horror. How like you're it could just end due to these things, and they won't even notice that they did this. Like your life could just like be gone, and they
Yeah.
won't even notice that you did that they did anything at all. Basically,
Like, have you ever stepped on an anthill? You
yes.
don't usually think about all the little ant lives that you've just shattered, all the little ant
No,
tunnels
but
that.
they make it known because I stepped on an anthill and now they're on my leg. And they make it known that I killed a lot of them.
not if you do the molten silver thing.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Have you seen that one? That video where they pour molten
I
silver.
saw that.
But
I'm
This
that
pretty
is
sure
what that Eldritch God reminds me of.
they made sure it was abandoned though. I'm pretty sure that the anthill that they found was abandoned.
well, the reason I use that metaphor is just like how much thought do you give to the ants that you step on assuming that they don't like crawl on you afterwards. You're just walking, you're just vibing.
Yeah, you're
You
just
will
vibing.
never know the death toll. And even if you did know, you don't
And
know
the
about their little
trauma you
impacts.
caused all of them.
Yeah, you're just gonna go on living your life, doing your shit, and these ants are gonna live with the repercussions of your actions.
But you didn't. The thing is that like, it wasn't even like an intentful action. You just stepped
Exactly.
on it. You weren't paying attention. You just keep going. And that's the kind of Eldritch God stuff that I like. That they're just
That
kind of like
scratches your
I
itch.
like that.
Yeah.
I like
living their
that.
life, and we get to witness their horror and shit.
See, I like that, but I also don't like it when it's like the only.
There are different flavors.
Yeah, there's different flavors. I'm just glad it's not only that kind because I don't know. I get tired of it.
Yeah,
really
yeah, I understand. I just giving my preference
No, I get
when I
it.
watch Eldritch horror stuff.
Thought you're.
So
No,
Ed,
what I
you
say.
aren't gonna like this, but Hector, you would probably like I think it's called the one with Nyarlathotep.
Okay.
That's the one where it's like this guy is half eldritch god, half human, and he used to live in ancient Egypt, and he was a huge asshole. I keep falling asleep before I can actually hear the story.
Oh, that's not a very good like sell, Ruthie.
I'm trying my best. Also, yes, I listen to Lovecraft to fall asleep. What is wrong with me?
To be fair, like the guy, I've heard the narrator from the one you use on YouTube. He is a very calming voice.
It's got a
Mm.
deep, nice voice.
Yeah.
I mean, used to
Dude.
listen to Night Vale, and I had to stop listening to it in bed when
You
I was
know,
in bed because I'd fall asleep.
It's yeah. That reminds me that it sucks that he was a creep, but that one YouTuber that I watched, I didn't want to say his name,
Oh, we can bleep
but
it. Bleep it.
yeah, that YouTuber,
Mm-hmm.
He had a good voice.
he had a very good voice, and he did creepypasta reads.
Those are fun.
I
still
loved
There's more
those.
than one person on YouTube with a
But
nice
nobody
voice.
has his voice.
No, he was
Not the same voice, but there are other good voices.
He had a very weird voice that it could go from like calm and reassuring to creepy and calm and like that, and he could use them both in the same story. He had a very unique gift for that.
Yeah, his best his
Markiplier
best
can
read
do
is
that
Mr.
too.
Widemouth.
Markiplier's is a little heavier at times than I'd like when some of those stories.
Yeah, just voice was silky smooth.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
Smooth versus Markiplier. He could kind of do like that low vibrato.
Yeah, but it's more domineering than it is just smooth and calm.
No. There's earlier stuff of his where he's doing I can show you a thing, but he's got
I think Markiplier's voice, at least for what I'm looking for, is a little bit too low, too deep.
Yeah.
Either way. But
no, sometimes, yeah. I do like Markiplier's reading voice, don't get me wrong. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, I just missed that. Anyways, off of that, yeah, like, I don't know, cosmic horror stuff is awesome. Speaking of cosmic horror, even though it isn't really, Kane Pixels' new series, fucking amazing.
I haven't seen the new episode yet, but
The
that's a
newest
good one.
episode is 8 minutes, I think, or
Yes.
41. It's so good. It is amazing.
So for background, everyone,
Is King Pixels the Backrooms guy?
yes, but he
Yes,
can't
he's
do
the
Backrooms
Backrooms guy.
anymore because
he's working on a movie.
He's working on the movie with A24.
Oh, that sucks. I mean, like, okay, that half sucks. If it was ripped out from a
No,
movie,
but
No,
the thing
no.
is,
To be fair,
his Backrooms series on the YouTube kind of ended in a way that I really liked.
yes,
Like it has okay closure, but not full closure.
I think the
awesome.
movie might be a soft reboot or maybe even a continuation of that too. I don't know. No one knows anything yet.
I would love it if it went through, if it started a little bit kind of in the middle of his YouTube series and then continued after that.
That'd be cool too.
Yeah. If it just focused on the company.
That's another one. It's not quite Eldrich, but it does kind of have that same feeling of like, what is this?
I think it's like the technical name is liminal horror, which is kind of like,
yes.
It's a horror where you are kind of like what you described with the Yellow King stories, where you're in the mortal world and then you're not all of a sudden, and there's just like you clip into a different reality, basically,
Yeah.
either intentionally or not intentionally.
It's cool. My worry is like, for a while, Eldritch horror was almost starting to be oversaturated. I think liminal horror was like the next step, but now it's also getting. I'm worried it's gonna get oversaturated soon.
Liminal horror,
It's hard to do.
it's
I think it's
hard.
harder to do than cosmic horror.
Yes, because it's too many angles, which is funny because that's a cosmic horror thing.
Yeah, and then it gets well. Yeah, and then people also don't know how to do liminal, so it just ends up turning into like a knockoff SCP. I said it. I said it.
Yes, that is
You said it and you should
true.
say it.
As much as I like SCP, I understand. Like, I get it's hard, and not everyone can do it. And it turns into SCP. I can see how the pitfalls happen. At the same time, though,
Yeah, I think the biggest thing to separate liminal from SCP, because SCPs are definitely creatures. They're beings usually, or just an object. The best way liminal horror works is there has to be some kind of like nostalgia aspect to it, or some kind of like very bland kind of area. The area is a character in itself, because in the back rooms it's like this very yellow kind of like it looks like an office space in like the 70s or 60s kind of thing, right? And then
yeah.
in the newest series, it's a mall, but it's a mall that looks like it's a mall from the 90s,
Wait,
and
don't
it's
say
very
anything more. I'm so catching. I know. I didn't know
So,
if it was all a mall. So please, no
yeah,
more episode
so
it's
three.
for liminal, I
bland.
don't. Nostalgia's a good word. I was going to say, it needs to understand what is, I guess, canny and what is uncanny.
Uncanny, yeah, because
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing. Like the backrooms is very canny but uncanny because it's familiar. We've all seen something like that, but it doesn't. The way it represents itself is not real. Like I rewatched like the first one, and it's like randomly generated, and it makes these like hallways that are like an inch thick sometimes, and it just has
Mhm.
random pillars in the middle of a room that doesn't make any sense. Hallways that go at weird angles and just kind of like end.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like it's
There's.
trying to be as real as it can, but it doesn't understand. And it just
Mhm.
comes out very weird, but it still looks kind of familiar.
Can I go back to SCP for a second?
Mhm.
Yes.
Do you think that kind of thing can become Eldritch horror?
SCPs?
Magnus Archives did.
Magnus Archives?
Yeah. So, Magnus Archives, for those of you who, during the spooky month of October, are looking for a completed podcast that is very spooky, it's like Eldritch SCPs, you might enjoy the Magnus Archives. And if you are thinking about it in this moment, let me tell you, lovely audience, pause this shit and go listen to all 200 episodes. You're welcome. Okay, spoiler territory.
Just tell them the main synopsis first.
Synopsis. So there's a place, fictional place called the Magnus Institute. They research the weird, the paranormal, the spooky, the uncanny, and you are following along as the archivist, the guy who listens to the unsolved cases, sorts through this messy as fuck archive because his predecessor, Gertrude Robinson, couldn't organize for shit.
Skip ahead to 5401 to avoid spoilers. You have been warned.
So the thing about Magnus Archives is it starts off with the uncanny, the spooky, paranormal sometimes, not really. But then we start to find out that there are some people that are more connected to weird phenomena than others. So like a woman who can, if she touches your face, burn you searing hot. Her followers are basically made of candle wax. There is a woman who is sewn together by spiders. Her body was her body at some point, but as it starts to fall away, it's like sewn back together. There is a man who can reach
Oh my
into your
god.
skin. He's called the
Squeamish.
Bone
I hate
Turner.
it.
I think you can figure out why, lovely audience.
I can't take that one seriously.
Whee! Please no.
Oh, don't worry. The noises are terrifying.
Oh, they give the noises?
They give it the Foley work.
Oh, nice.
Let me see. What other? There is a man whose shapes are uncomfortable and his soft skin is like stone and he can summon doors. There is a creature that will take the people in your life who you care about and replace them and make you forget the faces of the person that you loved.
So the false Hydra, gotcha.
Yes,
So,
but not everyone will be fake. Not every like piece of information about them will be fake. You'll be going through a photo album, and one picture will be the person that was, just to creep you out.
okay, that's good. Point being,
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's good. It's good. I know you. I love you. You can go on for another hour on this. I've heard it.
Sorry, I was getting lost in the sauce, but now I'm out.
Okay.
So there's the avatars, right? They're called avatars. Then we find out those were only the puppets. The Eldrich part of this equation is that in this universe there are 14 different fears, and each of these avatars correlates to a specific fear, and all of these fears want to invade Earth as we know it to make it their own personal playground. There, now I'm done.
Okay, but yeah, no, that's good. Thank you.
Yeah.
So it can be. So what do you think about So Men in Black? There's a thing called Delta Green, where you're basically playing like an MIB SCP, and your whole thing is taking down Eldrich shit.
And it's like a game?
It's a tabletop, yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
based off Call of Cthulhu. I actually have a copy of it.
Oh, okay. Is it one of your PDFs?
It's one of the PDFs, yeah.
Okay.
I just need to download it. But some people prefer it over Call of Cthulhu because it's a little, one, smaller rules, two, it's a lot easier to run.
That's fair.
But yeah, I wonder if is it Eldritch in a sense if you can fight the Eldritch in a sense?
No.
I feel like that defeats the biggest part of cosmic horror.
So Bloodborne. Counterpoint Bloodborne, Ruthie, one of your favorite games of all time.
One of my favorite games.
Spoiler alert, the trailers and everything was misleading you into thinking it was just fighting monsters, and then bam, halfway through you realize, oh no, this whole game is actually cosmic horror in disguise.
So, to defend my favorite game, there are 3 endings to Bloodborne.
Mm-hmm.
In what ending do you actually beat
You wake
the
up.
Eldritch? The inevitable.
You can fight Henrietas.
Henrietas,
the goddess.
Mm-hmm.
You can fight the amygdala, which is definitely an Eldritch being.
You can fight them.
And you can kill them.
You can kill these ones.
What?
Good answer. Okay. Good answer. You won me over.
But yeah, I feel that wait, what are you guys talking about?
I'm talking about Bloodborne.
The 3 endings. Yeah, the 3 endings is
you wake up.
You fight the dude and you become him.
But you're still trapped in the nightmare. You cannot.
You're still trapped in the nightmare. And then in the third one, you fight him, and then you fight the entity, and then you become an entity.
Exactly. In none of these do you really ever stop the Eldritch. The engine is the wheel is still turning. You might be able to get away from it in the dream. You might be able to wake up, but there's still New Game Plus. It's not over. Start playing, bitch.
Okay, yeah, you won me over. And it doesn't just have to be the entity. It can just entities. It can just be what they've done. Okay.
And there's still their presence in the world of Yharnam.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. You've won me over.
Holy shit, Ruthie.
Yeah. Bloodborne is so much fun.
No, Bloodborne's so good, dude. It is like Sekiro.
I might buy it for the PS5.
Do it,
honestly, because it seems like the only since it is faster than Dark Souls, it might be the one that actually keeps my attention.
I mean, Ed, just come over here and play it. Just give it a demo trial on our PS5 next time you come over.
I have played it a little bit way back, but I don't know. I'm not sure.
Anything else?
It's just Armored Core so good.
Yeah. Is there anything
Made by the same devs.
I know, but it's a different
completely
game.
different?
Anyways,
It's the different directors though, which says a lot.
yeah. But
Um,
yeah, Bloodborne is just Eldritch.
Mwah.
It is just Eldritch.
Yeah.
It's better than Dark Souls because Dark Souls isn't as Eldritch. It's not Eldritch at all.
I almost got my
Dark Souls or Elden
Dark
Ring.
Souls has some Eldritch stuff if you dig deep enough into the lore and the world.
Ed, have you seen the first cutscene to Dark Souls?
Yeah.
The first cutscene?
The first cutscene into the game.
Yeah, but
Where
I
it
don't
introduces all the Pantheon.
remember. Oh, right. Yes. It
We
like
don't know how the
describes the
Pantheon
undead. Yeah.
We
Or
don't know how the
describes the undead
Pantheon
also.
started. We just know that there was a soul, and then there's a not soul, or the dark soul. We don't know what the dark soul is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually, we do know what the Dark Souls. I'm not gonna go there. Actually, I'm not gonna go over it because I'm too good and kawaii over all of you. Anyway,
if you want to
Alberting
get into
Paco.
the Dark Souls lore, just watch Vati Vidya. He has
Vati Daddy.
all of the lore for Dark Souls.
take some of it with a grain of salt. He's been wrong in a few things, so depending on which
I know,
video
but
is.
because you
but
have, he's not wrong. There's a lot you have to assume. You have to like guess.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, some of his earlier videos, he was a little more mistaken. He went back and redid some of them with better information.
Yeah.
That's all I meant.
Yes.
So yeah.
But does one ever truly know the Eldrich?
No, that's the point.
I mean,
You're not
he
supposed to.
basically got a lot of the Bloodborne lore down, so I assume, yeah, in his case, yes.
Yeah. But that's going back to the movie.
Mhm.
That's another thing I disliked is just kind of how much you get to know of the entity.
Is it you actually get to know, or you assume? Because
Yeah.
you're assuming it's person-like.
Yeah, what is he? He's just doing that. You don't know why.
It's just fucking around, as far as we know.
Yeah, it's just fucking around, but it like, I don't know, it like intervenes too much, in my opinion. When I mean intervene, I don't mean the loop bubbles. I just mean the small little things it does, like giving the videotapes, the pictures.
But even some
stuff
people
like
have
that.
like toy anthill, like the like see-through little ant colonies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I was
Mhm.
thinking. Going
Yeah,
at.
I got you.
Yeah, or like you ever just separate ants and see what happens? They can find their way back. Like it's just stuff like that.
Or if you want to be really fucked up, you grab a piece of chalk and you draw a little circle around an ant. They don't like the chalk because it absorbs their little scent-smelling pheromones, and then they're just stuck in the little circle.
Have you done that?
No.
Okay.
But if I have a garden, I'm definitely gonna do that.
Also, if you see a line of ants, when they follow their little scent line,
Mm-hmm.
if you lick your finger and then wipe over it, they stop moving for like a little bit, and then they'll eventually just go around where you wiped.
Mm-hmm.
If you can eat ants. I had nothing else to contribute. I wanted
Protein.
to
I
something.
had a friend who used to say that the black ones tasted like licorice and the red ones tasted like ketchup.
I can't eat the red ones. I'm actually allergic to fire ants.
Oh,
I got bit when I was like 3, and I almost had to go to the hospital. I guess I don't remember it.
I'm sorry, dude.
No, it's fine. I don't remember it. Not
Nice.
if I care. But yeah, even now, my mom's like, "Stay away." When we go to Puerto Rico, she's like, "Stay away from the fire ants." And I'm like, "Any anthill, you never know."
Mhm.
So in your case,
just carry an EpiPen when you go to Puerto Rico.
Right, all $600.
yeah, woo, with more money.
Well, hey, at least it's 600 now. It wasn't. It wasn't a couple of years ago.
Yeah, no.
Insurance is the Eldritch horror.
Yeah, can one ever actually truly understand insurance?
It will fuck you over and never even know.
And not just health insurance, any insurance.
Yes. So, is there anything else you guys want to bring up? I think I'm kind of getting to because I had my whole big thesis being like, yeah, it's better if it's lower.
See, I don't feel like you can just talk about the production behind the scenes. I feel like you also have to talk about what the story needs, because like you can have the best like production and design and blah blah blah. If your story is shit, it's gonna mean nothing.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel
And
about
that's the
having?
thing. Like,
Sorry.
the biggest things I would change about this movie is make the Eldritch less active in this situation, and I would also remove the kind of like bubbles, kind of, or like, I don't know, like I would make it more more just like how
Subtle.
do I say it? More subtle, yeah, on the but I don't yeah, I haven't really thought too much deep into this, but like where it just kind of I had it and I've lost it completely.
You don't like the bubbles. What would you adjust about the bubbles? You want them more subtle. What does more subtle look like?
Yeah, I had it and then I lost it is what I'm saying, Ruthie.
I'm trying to reprompt your brain.
Reprompt my brain.
While you're
Well, we'll get
thinking,
back to that, but
Okay.
another thing.
I had another question. Are you guys fine with this one having a somewhat happy ending with at least the two brothers?
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I am fine with the happy ending, but I would have liked it if they left and felt some kind of dread or overbearing or something like maybe this is our loop kind of thing, like maybe a little bit of a question or just like feeling very sad about the people that are stuck forever. I would have liked a little bit more of like a
Like a paretic, like a fake like a false hollow victory
yeah,
kind of vibe.
like waking up in Bloodborne, that kind of thing. Where you're out, but like that, it's still there, and it does end that way. But I feel like the happy ending with the brothers cheering and like going back to their normal life. I don't feel that that should have been like the epilogue of it. I think the epilogue should have been just them like just thinking and maybe talking a little bit of just like that's just gonna be like that forever kind of thing. And yeah, like maybe the entity doesn't. I don't know. I don't remember what I was going with the no bubbles and no pillars or stuff. But yeah,
No, I get it.
Well, yeah, maybe they're not distinct bubbles. Maybe it's like they think it's bubbles. Maybe I don't. I almost want, if I was to fix it, was to like get rid of like the scene where the camera pans out and you can see the bubbles from the trailer. I know it's from the other movie. I haven't seen the other movie. I don't care about the other movie.
I might have misread it, but from what I was told, it was from the other
Either
movie.
way, people they say it's bubbles. We don't know if it's bubbles. We don't know the rules.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I feel like that would have been great if just in every like so every bubble has different times
Mm-hmm.
of how it loops. It would have been great if each bubble had different rules for when the loop starts. Like or like maybe the main camp is just like
The
when the
third
third moon
moon.
appears, and maybe in another one it's when they die, or maybe in another one it's when they step on a certain piece of grass, or in another one it's when they travel too far, just like different rules. But and you don't quite, but it has to be displayed in a way where you don't quite understand the rules exactly, but there is a triggering moment for all of them.
What you could do, what you could do there is Carl has rocks kind of randomly strewn across his camp, and Justin
Oh
keeps tripping on them. And he asks, "Why the fuck are you leaving all these rocks around? Come on, man." And Carl is just like, "Fine, I'll show you." And he steps over one and he disappears. And he appears out of the shed again.
yeah, out of the shed, yeah. Like yeah, maybe Carl has figured out what the conditional meat is for him.
Mm-hmm. And maybe like for Mike and the tweaker, it's when Mike finds he's always going to find a message, and after like 5 minutes after he finds the message, that's when the loop restarts.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because then you don't have to just base it off of time, which seems like it's just a random arbitrary time loop.
Or yeah, and maybe in the camper, it's just like the guy can't leave the camper. If he opens the door and steps outside, he's back in the camper. But he can stay in the camper for as long as he wants. And also, normal time rules don't apply. Also,
I mean, that was implied with the thing with normal time rules don't
yeah,
apply because once they burnt the fire, it became darker.
yeah, I know, but like
Sunset.
what I'm saying is that like the guy can stay in the camper and the time loop won't start as long as he stays, but the normal time rules still don't apply if he stays in the camper. Like, he won't age and stuff.
Yeah.
But he can stay in the camper, and it's a continuous, thing
It's a
for
loop
him.
of his own making.
Yeah, but like the thing is, like, for him, it's a continuous progression of time as long as he doesn't leave the camper, but it's still time rules don't apply.
No, I get what you mean.
Yeah, and just like that, I think that would be better, because then it's like, at least for me, it would give it more of a sense of like, yeah, there's this entity that definitely has control of this time loop with the cult, because he, like, does the process of destroying everything and then resetting, but maybe these other things it's not aware of, it just kind of happened with the entity existing in this area.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
You look like you've been wanting to say something, hon.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm just thinking. No, that's good.
Yeah, no, I like that. It's a little bit more
individual.
It's a little it obscures it just a little bit more, because like with a time thing, there's like always a loop. Like, we understand that, we can conceptualize, oh, this is 10-second Tom in the cabin, and he only has 10 seconds before he's horribly murdered in his tent, and then it resets. And this is Carl out in the creepy shed. Carl has 3 hours and he does that. And then there's the big camp, and they're just waiting for the third moon in the sky, and that's like a lot longer. Maybe not.
Yeah, it seems like it's a week or so, or a little bit less than a week.
My one
it's like 4 or 5 days.
My one caveat, though, is then that can potentially give them an out, and that kind of ruins it that they're stuck in this hell forever.
Exactly.
It gives them hope.
The illusion of hope, and maybe there is a way out, but we don't know. Yeah, like the illusion of hope in Bloodborne.
All right, so I think I'm about ready to end this.
I like it. I like that stuff where there's like, oh, there's these.
It's cruelty, but
rules.
you don't even know if it is cruelty.
Yeah.
There's these definite rules. There must be a way to circumvent, find a loophole, and get out. But maybe there is. Maybe there isn't. Maybe the entity is aware of all the other loops. Maybe it's not. Who knows?
Yeah.
Beyond our understanding.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That's why I didn't like the Eldrich too much. It was too easy to figure out.
Is it? I'm looping.
You're looping.
I am. Because I disagree. We know that it's in control. We know that it's... I mean, I assume that it's aware, because it is communicating, but we don't know much more beyond that. We can assume it's malicious because it's fucking with them, but
yeah,
how malicious are you when you're interacting with ants,
I guess since we're discussing about it, it proves that it does do a decent job, at least. I just don't like the way it's presented.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. So, grades, I'm going with an A. I give it like a 5-star.
It's like an A.
It's a B, B minus. B minus for me.
Aaron Moorhead and Justin Benson.
Shout out.
If you guys want to come on the podcast or just talk, I'd love that. This was a very fun movie. I wasn't expecting like a really good.
Okay, so Ed gets what's his face, the reviewer guy from Flash.
Oh, Chris Stuckman.
Chris Stuckman. You want the guys from Endless. I want Guillermo del Toro. If we're just gonna manifest, our dream,
I know, but
celebrity
type, so much high up there.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. No,
I get it.
Well, then if we're going there, I'd love Denis Villeneuve or Roger Deakins.
Yeah, Robert Eggers.
Oh Lord. Dude, I feel like having Robert Eggers on the podcast. I don't know how he is actually as a person, but it would get derailed really fast. I just feel like he'd derail it really fast.
I feel like he would just randomly scream things like, "Oh, this movie is set in like, I don't know, medieval Korea. Make him scream. Make him only talk in Korean. Ah!
That's not as hard nowadays, though.
I know, but
I know
the
you're
vibe,
referencing.
yeah.
No. You know who'd be the worst one to get is what's his Ari Aster. He'd be the worst one.
Ooh, dude,
He'd be
he would
fun,
probably
but
come on the podcast high on acid.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, we would get nothing done. It'd be great.
Okay, but if we want like an anti-pick, I know you said worst, but we don't mean worst, but the
Yeah.
actual worst one, I think Martin Scorsese would actually try and choke us out through the screen.
Oh,
we shouldn't marvel enough. We shouldn't marvel enough. We're fine.
He tried to choke you, Ruthie. The Godfather.
I am sure he'd actually like appreciate someone with the chutzpah to disagree with. I don't think he's a contrarian, but I think he does. I feel like he would respect certain contrarians.
I guess,
Well, I'm not a contrarian for the sake of being contrarian.
You know what I mean, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
but you were going against the grain. I think he would respect some of that. He seems like the kind of guy who, if you explained in a well thought out why you don't like it, in a well thought reason why you don't like his movie, he'd respect it. He's been around.
Honestly,
he knows the shit.
Yeah.
I actually was a little fun fact for the pod that's stupid. I was trying to build up the courage for 2 months to get the guy who did what's that one movie? The computer movie?
Primer?
No.
Searching? Missing?
Searching. I tried to get the Searching director. I think I found their I got bored and I looked at like I googled their name in like LinkedIn and I think I found their email and I was very tempted to like I didn't build up the courage to send an email because I want to get blocked. But I was just like, yeah, man, I love the movie. Just do you want to come over and just talk? But like, I'd like to pick your brain, but nah.
Sir, please put down the gun. I just want to talk about your movie. Why are you closing the blinds, sir?
The cyber blinds, please let me in. I've been playing too much Cyberpunk. But
yeah, this has been fun.
It was fun. Yeah, thanks for indulging me. I couldn't come up with any fixes, and I didn't have the time to really force myself to shit something out.
Whose pick is it next?
It is, I think, yours.
Oh, well, since we're talking about like Eldrich stuff, I know it's after Halloween, but I'm the episode czar. What if we did Color Out of Space?
All right.
I know, Ed, you wanted to fix it. You've been talking about wanting to fix it for years now, and I know I want to talk more about Lovecraft. Ed? Oh shit, did we lose you? Hold
Ed?
on. We might have lost him. He said
No, I'm muted. I'm a dummy. Sure, we can do Color Out of Space. And I have been talking about fixing it?
You've been talking about fixing it since we started the podcast, I thought.
Hmm.
Maybe I've just been reading your mind?
Hey, people who listen to the podcast and follow us on our Discord, which we can link.
Yeah, help my terrible memory.
And our, you can also find, we don't have Twitter anymore. We deleted it after all the Musk stuff.
Fuck Twitter, fuck X.
It's called X now.
I don't...
we don't respect it enough. Fuck Twitter.
Nah, it's a website. It's not a person. I don't respect websites or corporations.
All the news articles I've been reading, when they mention that somebody posted on Twitter, they always say, when someone posted on X, in parentheses, formerly Twitter.
Really, I don't... For me, like, I am a marketing professional. That is my day job. I'm an amateur when it comes to movies. But when he changed the name from Twitter, and feel free to, like, get rid of this. This is absolutely a tangent. When he changed the name from Twitter to X, not only was it not copyrightable because it's just a fucking letter, the typeface that he picked for his X was non-copyrightable. Anybody can do the X.
Do you want to hear the funny bit? As a nerd,
that's hilarious to me.
It's funny, but can I like tell you?
Why aren't either of you laughing?
I don't find copyright funny.
He shot himself in the foot. He's like, I'm gonna make a difference.
Well, what do you expect? He's a fucking idiot.
Do you want to? Can I?
True.
So
sorry.
The worst part is this was like 13 years after Twitter was started. I think, or that's what my friend told me. And as soon as he changed it to a black background with the letter X, every Kingdom Hearts fan went crazy. Like, oh no, Twitter got Norded. And like, if you know what Kingdom Hearts is, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And
See, now it's just
Funniest thing Elon ever did, and he didn't do it on purpose.
Now it's just difficult to have a Twitter browser open at work because it looks like you were looking up porn.
Oh yeah. Or that Vin Diesel movie, XXX.
Yeah,
Triple X,
but I have less reason to
Xander
watch
Cage.
I have less reason to watch Triple X at work for actual work purposes than I do to be on Twitter for actual.
You can
work
always
purposes.
watch Vin Diesel any time of the day. It's allowed. And
Vin's working on another
Riddick.
Riddick.
He says that. I'll believe when I see it.
Dude, Riddick is honestly one of my favorite franchises that just never works out.
No, I get that. I again, I'm not shitting on him for saying like, oh yeah, no, I just don't. He never does. He says he's been doing it for years. I'll wait for the day I see it.
Also, Vin Diesel says, I'm pretty sure Vin Diesel has said that Riddick is like his favorite character to play.
Not surprised at all.
No.
Anyhow, so we have a Discord. We don't have a Twitter. What else? What other socials do we have? Boys?
I'm not playing the game today.
You're not playing the game.
ReShoot _ podcast for Instagram
and Threads.
We
have a Blue Sky account. It's ReShoot.
It's ReShoot moviepod.bluesky.social whatever.
If you're on Blue Sky, you know what it is. You're cool. You're part of the in group. You know.
Yeah. Also, it's more my personal one too, so you get a lot of weird shit one way or another.
Yeah.
Just I don't care.
We are also on Mastodon.
Oh yeah, Mastodon's the thing.
Mastodon, it does indeed exist. We have stickers. You can purchase stickers if you enjoy our content. I may or may not add an Eldrich magenta flavor.
It's Eldrich or magenta haterade.
Yes, and the flavor is strawberries.
And
we have what lamp.
Lampola Anderson is your lampshade test dummy in case you need to like double check if your female character is good enough. We've got eaten by his own eels in square and circle, and then we've got the ReShoot logo.
Eaten by his own eels?
Yes.
Is that a
cure for wellness?
Cure for wellness.
Instead of hoisted on his own petard, it's eaten by his own eels.
We don't talk about it because every time we mention
you get angry.
You get angry every time we mention that movie.
It's a good movie.
Okay. I disagree. So
yes, it has its issues, but it's a good movie.
So we have the next week's movie. Is there anything else we're forgetting?
You can email us.
Yeah, you can email us.
reshootpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Send me a picture of your favorite Eldritch abomination.
Not hentai version, though. I don't know why I said that.
Also
now we're gonna get some.
Have a Discord.
Yes.
You can say mean things to me.
Yes, a specific channel just for hating on Ed.
And he ranks it.
It is horribly underused. Please. Mean things.
We also have memes, so if you like memes, please put memes.
Also lots of memes.
Mainly me. No one else memes. But yeah, if you want to talk about movies or games or whatever, yeah, more than welcome. We're all nerds here, so it's a fun time.
Yeah, it's the ReShoot Discord, but it's very diversified.
Yes. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hope you all have a great day. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Halloween.